When I was growing up, my mother would tell me something. She would say, go and talk to that person and find out how much deep water they are in. And of course, as a child, I never understood what my mom was talking about at that time. And I basically was trying to understand what it is that my mom is trying to tell me to do, because she always spoke in riddles. My mom never spoke clearly. She would teach lessons in kind of like, in almost like poetic language, you know? So she would say, go and see how much deep water this person is, or in how much hot water this person is in, you know? And I would say, okay. So the idea was to find out if people are actually able to cope with the situation that they're in. As in, are they drowning in the water or are they swimming in the water? And one of the things that happens when you are swimming in the water, you are trustable, you are confident, you are safe, and other people feel safe around you. And all of these things as a child is things that one needs to be able to identify in people so that you know that you're safe, right, as a child. So this was my way, this was my mom's way of teaching me how to know how to be safe without me directly actually having to ask that question from the people around me. Isn't that a crazy concept? She had these crazy ways of showing me and teaching me lessons. One time she said to me, hey, go and pick up the flowers from the garden, the white flowers. I said, okay, Mama, pick up the white flowers. She says, okay, bring them in to the house. I said, I'll bring them into the house. And these beautiful white lilies that I brought into the house. And she says, okay, we're going to put them in 2 different containers. And I say, okay, Mom, let's put them in 2 different vases. Now she selected 2 clear white vases for these flowers, right? And she said, okay, put these flowers inside the vase and then fill that with water. And when you fill it with water, I want you to put red food coloring into one vase, and I want you to put green food coloring into another vase. So I said, okay, Mom, as you say, I will do this. So I did this, and I made a nice arrangement of flowers for my mom. And she said, thank you very much. See you in a week. I said, okay, Mom. Right. So I go away, you know, back to university or wherever it was. And then I came back in a week. And she says, come, let me show you something now. So we go to these flowers, you know, and she says, okay, what do you see? And I see that the green vase with the green food coloring, the white flowers had turned green, and the flowers that were with the red food coloring in the same water that was red had turned red. So she says to me, hey, what do you think? What did that show you? I said, I have no idea, except that, like, you know, it's amazing that, you know, the color has changed. And that's an amazing thing about nature. She said, yeah, okay, nature is amazing. You know, water absorption is an amazing thing. I said, yes. She said, well, but that's not the point. She said, there's a deeper point that you need to understand here, my son. I said, what is that, Mom? And she says to me, well, the people that you mix with, that is the color you will become. That is who you will become. So be very, very selective with who you mix. Because if you want to be green, but you're mixing with the reds, then you'll never be a green. And if you want to be a red and you're mixing with the greens, you'll never be a red. So you have to really think about who you're mixing with, how deep water they are in, so you can trust them, and you can then be with the right people and be in true alignment in your life with the people around you.